Everyone, today we're going to be talking about how I was right. I was correct that this tier list was not wrong and I should have never backed down on it. We're going to be doing a review on how basically like the first regional and how it pairs up with my tier list. So let's get into it. So I think there's some things we've obviously noticed were incorrect about this tier list. But also some things that were correct. I think Terrapicos does deserve to stay in S tier after its amazing second place performance. While it didn't win, it still did a really great job, getting 2 top 8 placements, better than Cali Shadow. Now, the big question is, do I want Cali Shadow to stay in this high tier? And I'm genuinely debating it. Cali Shadow, it didn't do too good. It got top 32. And the thing I feel like is really the problem with Cali Shadow right now is that people countered it too well. Normally this doesn't happen until like Worlds. We instantly took initiative. We instantly tried to counter this thing as fast as possible. And it didn't do too good. Kyurem White literally did better than it. I think Kyurem White is definitely in the tier it deserves to be then. Lugia, to move it up or not to move it up is also a question. It certainly did impress me, and I think it's far better than any of these other D-tier legendaries. While I won't be changing the tier list today, I do want to just talk about like how some things did pan out from this tier list. I'll probably be remaking this tier list again another time from scratch, probably late in the format, probably around like NAIC time. But for now, I just want to talk about like how did my predictions line up. So I guess I'll go like Pokemon by Pokemon, or we could pull up Victory Road. Alright, so there was probably a cut in this video, so here it is. Here's the results from Victory Road from Indianapolis Regionals. So obviously we got Miraidon in first. I did put Miraidon in my A tier, and I think it still should stay. I think it did really well in this format, in this tournament specifically. But I don't know how it will do in future tournaments. It really is a toss-up. Most Miraidon will probably adapt to their counters, which do exist. One thing I do want to mention is this team did have Ursaluna Blood Moon, and I am wondering if possibly there are some sets of Ursaluna Blood Moon that could possibly be a good counter to other Miraidons. Especially considering since the 8th place Miraidon by Aaron Trailer did not actually have an Ursaluna Blood Moon, and the one that did won the tournament. Ursaluna Blood Moon is honestly a really good Pokemon that counters a lot of these top Pokemon. Very good into Incineroar if you get the chance. Good into Raging Bolt. Ground type is just such a great type right now. If you look at most of these teams, there's not many ground types, right? Actually, Aaron Trailer did have an Ursaluna Blood Moon. Oh, my mistake. There was there's 2 ground types in top 8, and I think that that Miraidon was just able to completely take advantage of that, and we definitely need to see more ground types. We saw no Landowise, we saw 0 Tinglus, and it's just, that needs to be something that we should adapt for. Gladios getting top 7 was kind of cool. We have Andrew Zhang, we got the Terrapagos, and I still think it's S tier. I think Terrapagos can easily win a game. I still believe in the Calm Mindset, even if both of the top 8 were choice specs. And I think there's a reason both of the top 8 were choice specs. You just get a lot more coverage moves and really good into early format where basically all the restricteds are being ran, and then we'll slowly chop more off. Or maybe it will stay this diverse. We really don't know. Kyogre also got top 8, which is nice. Zamazenta top 8. Pretty nice. 2 Cali Ice meta teams, so that was expected, I feel like, going into this. So then we go down before top 8. We see that Smeargle did manage to get 9th. So that's pretty nice. Smeargle was definitely a Pokemon we all feared. So that's kind of cool. Now, here's one thing that's interesting. Groudon did better than Koraidon. And that's one thing I said in my tier list video that you definitely should go check out. And while you're at it, you should also like and subscribe. So yeah, Groudon definitely over Koraidon for sure. I think Luca did a great job with the Koraidon team, though. I gotta give major props to him. I think he definitely made the best team Koraidon could possibly be in. So yeah, that's really nice that he was able to make this team and make Koraidon do really well. He should definitely stick with it. And as for the top Groudon team, also a really great team. Piloted really well. Definitely great to see Groudon did well. We were in the Swiss round 9 of the stream. We all saw Groudon barely make it into day 2, and I feel like a lot of people were excited to see that Groudon really did well. Especially being the bottom of top 8 usage on both days, but he was still able to be in that top 8 usage, so that was really nice for Groudon. You see a lot of Cali Ice over here, which is kind of weird when you look at only 2 Cali Ice in top 8, but then you see it in 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th. We see a lot of Kyogre follow suit. A lot of similar compositions. If you notice, Justin Tang and Angel Ding, they're running they're running the same team that Shi Liang ran in to get 6th place, right? So that team had an amazing showing, definitely. So it's really great to just see them all, kind of run the same thing and all do really well. We see more Zamazenta. We see... Alright. You want to know something funny? Remember when I mentioned when Kyurem White got over Cali Shadow? Yeah, Kyurem White did better than Cali Shadow by 1, and my Lodic was also on this team. I do really want to know how this team would have done with Empoleon. That's definitely... What's that did my Lodic run? Leftovers, Scald, Coil, Life Dew, Hypnosis. That's wild. Yeah. This is definitely a cool team. Glad it made it through. So yeah, now going off that, Kyurem White definitely has proved itself. The next Pokemon I want to talk about was top rating Cali Shadow. It was kind of a meta team. I think Terra Fairy was definitely the play for the Cali Shadows, and I feel like a lot of players did not do that. If we look here, this one was Terra Ghost. Terra Fairy was definitely the play for this tournament, and people just did not want to use it, I guess. So that's a real shame. I feel like Terra Fairy could have genuinely done it. Because, when we look at the teams, right? Jugulus, Terra Fairy, Draining Kiss it. You're good. Lots of Urshifu. Terra Fairy, Draining Kiss could have really helped with that. Miraidon. You're kind of forcing it to Terra now. You're forcing stuff out of a lot of things. I think the Terra Fairy was just a much more effective play. Not that the Terra Ghost wasn't good. I think it was just, you really had to make that call for Terra Fairy fast. Yeah, I think it was purely just the fact that I think people were looking at it way too, linearly, where they were alright, Terra Ghost has been good, we're gonna keep running Terra Ghost. And that was kind of the mass consensus belief. So they definitely did all want to run that Terra Ghost. Terra Fairy, I think, would have been the much better play. But that's just me. Yeah, we even see Wolf's team got 27th in the hands of Bobby Rochelle, so that is definitely quite the team as well. You have Clefairy on that team, and, you also have the Terra Ghost. I think with Clefairy, the Terra Ghost actually works a lot better, because now you actually have redirection to redirect some very powerful hits, and direct hits to you Knock Off, Electro Drift. So I think the Clefairy works. Just looking back, make sure I didn't miss anything. Tinglu got 20th. Tinglu, definitely something a lot of people said would be a good Cali Shadow counter. Alright, so then we come to the last couple of teams in top 32. One thing I do want to point out is Porygon 2 got 29th and Thundurus got 31st. Pokemon that I don't know how many people were trusting in them in the beginning, but they've definitely done well. Lunala got 36. It's really good. Made day 2. Glad to see at least one Lunala made it. More Cali Shadows. More Kyogres. And our Chaludon got day 2. That's nice. See another Clefairy, this time with Terrapagos. I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, and clearly it paid off. Got day 2. Now, here's the thing I wanted to talk about. I saw this earlier. Murkrow got day 2. We've come full circle. We've come full circle since Series 1. Yeah. We're back to Murkrow. Do I think Iron Jugulus is better? It really is a toss-up. I think it depends on the team. Murkrow was definitely something I've been thinking of in the back of my head. And to see it here, to see it get day 2, is just amazing to me. Just to watch that. So, Murkrow, good job. You're still here with us all the way in Regulation G. Get more Koraidon, get more Terrapagos, lots more Cali Ice. Definitely a lot of... Orgrippon and Cornerstone showed up big. We got Regieleki in day 2. And then we see Sableye day 2 along with that Lugia team. A lot of good teams. See Orgrippon Teal Mask at day 2. Just trying to look at like all the fun Pokemon that were to get day 2. And maybe Pokemon that you may want to even consider. With that, we get to sixth place number 61, and those are all the day 2 teams. So with that, I do want to get to the usage. Here it is. Alright, so I did want to get to the usage stats, and just kind of analyze this. So in day 1, we saw, and day 2, we saw Incin, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Mungus. People knew these were going to be good. People knew these were going to be top. Rillaboom fell off a bit, and I think that's because Miraidon was doing well. Even though Miraidon technically dropped in usage in day 2, I think it really has been what people said. People are so stuck in the mindset of Quark Dry spam, and I think those were the ones that didn't really move on to day 2. And I think the ones that did were really the best, like Rajan's team. You know, Rajan really did very well with his Miraidon, had no other Quark Drive Pokemon. Definitely an approach to take, you know, because Miraidon can do all the damage. Well, I've always been an Iron Moth believer. I still am an Iron Moth believer. I do think Rajan made a great team for this tournament. More usage in Zamazenta in both days, which was really nice. Koraidon had a really big fall off. In fact, Koraidon had a bigger fall off than Cali Shadow and Groudon. So, yeah. Yeah, Koraidon, it didn't do that well. It had less usage in day 2 than Groudon in day 1. So that's a very interesting statistic. Ursaluna Blood Moon getting top 12 Pokemon in day 2, I think, was also a very big shock. Definitely very good ground type, but the fact that it made it in over something like Lando I guess because people weren't running Lando I, that Lando I couldn't day 2. Chi-Yu fell off, but it ended up getting second, right? So this means that even though Chi-Yu fell off top 12, it is not a bad Pokemon. I don't know why Chi-Yu fell off. Maybe it just wasn't being played on the right teams. Maybe there was like some Chi-Yu counters running around. Things like Pelipper trying to stop Chi-Yu. There's a lot of reasons why Chi-Yu might not be the best. As for Ogerpon and Wellspring, it dropped a little bit in usage, but still managed to stay in top 12, which I think was a big shock to everyone. I'm personally using Ogerpon and Wellspring on my current team, and I think it's still good, right, on the right team. Definitely not the best grass type, definitely not the best water type, but when you combine the two types, you kind of get your own Pokemon. And then the big surprise, Terrapagos, proving why I put it in S tier. It's because it was at 9.09 usage, zoomed up to 14.75. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Respect the Terra. Sorry the audio quality got messed up. I'll do you a solid, and I'll let you guys decide on which Pokemon I should do a video on next. I'm out.